I think this time it's going to be slightly different than the previous technology innovations we had. So like a steam engine, it just changed how the industry works. Then electricity, again, changed quite a bit of things. When internet came, it just created, people are talking world is flat, the knowledge is available to everybody. Then when the hyperscalers, so the cloud computing came in, it just provided so much of power in terms of computing power. I think these were all, if I look at it, were automating a rule-based or certain type of things which is already been defined by a human doing that. I think this time we are creating a buddy for everybody. So it's kind of a democratization of intelligence. The first and foremost thing I've been telling my team is be open about change. Because now every 3 months, every 6 months, something is going to change. So be open about the change, don't be resistant to change. And continuous learning is going to be the mantra for rest of everybody's life. See, what I keep telling my team is if you're not learning every day, you are actually going to fall behind. So every single day you have to make it a point that you're learning something new. Because that's going to be the thing. Second, I'm saying that creativity, imagination is going to be paramount for everybody's success, whether it is enterprise or individual. It's not about this is how we have done things, this is how we are going to do the things and make small changes to or rewrite the processes. Can you entirely reimagining how the business can be done?
Welcome to GCC Unplugged, the podcast where we speak to GCC leaders who are shaping the future of this ecosystem in the country. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Ankur Mittal, SVP, CTO and Managing Director of Lowe's India. Over the years, Ankur has played a key role in building Lowe's India into a strategic hub for technology, AI, data, and digital innovation, while also emerging as a prominent voice in India's evolving GCC ecosystem. Ankur, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me over here.
Thank you. And so, as I said, that next 30 minutes, let's hear stories from you that how Lowe's India has evolved over the years here, and of course, how you have grown with the organizations too. So, to start with, you've spent more than 2 decades as a technology leader, and so say if you were young and you were walking into this office, which is a fascinating office today, what would surprise you the most about the kind of leader that you have become today?
First of all, thank you for reminding my age.
We all are sometimes, of course.
See, here is the thing. When I was younger self, I used to think about that technology probably can solve all the problems. So It always used to start with, if I am solving the most complex problem, I'm probably doing the best. But what I realized over years is it's not about just technology. Technology has to be solving a business problem, and not the sake of the technology, you should be implementing something in the production or in your environment. Every single time nowadays, when I think about technology, it is all about how can I solve a business problem? How can I do things differently, which is going to help those customers or the associates who is serving the customers. It has to make the significant incremental versus exponential difference to the business, and not about, I like this technology, it is really cool, so just go ahead and implement it. So I think in the last 2 decades, the things what have changed for me is bring the entire ecosystem of business, product management, engineering, operations all together to build the solution for the customer and not just for the sake of technology.
No, you're right. I mean, it cannot be that you have a new technology, so you need to implement it. That FOMO has to be taken care of. And I think we need to understand that the ultimate aim is to move the business needle. And if that doesn't, if technology is not helping that, it won't be of any use. Yeah. So you joined in 2019 here, and it's been more than a decade now of operations here. How have you seen Lowe's India, transform over the years yourself?
See,
as I said, that if you can add some stories, that would be great.
Absolutely. My boss said that, hey, Ankur, I want this center to create exponential difference, exponential impact to the business, and not just incremental, not just small changes here and there. It has to transform the business. And I really want this center to be helping business transform. over a period of next 6-7 years, I feel so good about that I made the right decision to join Lowe's. I also feel good about that the kind of products we have produced to take the business to the next level. Now, if you think about 7 years back, 8 years back, where we were in terms of technology as well as business, I think whether it is pro growth, whether it is services growth, whether it is online growth, the things which we are doing with AI, I feel very good about the things which we together as Lowe's, we are able to impact, create the impact for our customers as well as our associates.
So you spoke about that your boss asked you that, hey, Ankur, we need to do just not incremental changes, but real transformation, big time. So, what's that capability that, you kind of created here that really exceeded, probably your expectation or probably your boss's expectations as well?
See, I think the biggest capability, I think, what Lowe's India has created is that we don't talk about Lowe's India and Lowe's US.
Okay.
It's Lowe's. Every single time whenever we have a conversation. So like GCC, that term is not known to 90% of the Lowe's US associates because they hear it only through this thing. Internally, we don't talk about India, US. So the creating that environment, creating that culture across the shores, across the company is the biggest capability, I feel. Now, there are a lot of examples, whether it is in the stores, self-checkout, whether it is in marketing space, Lowe's Media Network, whether it is in AI space, the platforms, what we have created for our engineers, the order management system, the search. I think there are tons of things which we have created together. Because in Lowe's, we don't talk about what is being created in India, what has been created in US. We all are marching towards our mission, which is solving problems and fulfilling dreams for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I understand that this term GCC is something that I've been schooled about earlier also, that, but then, we needed a term for
Yes.
And it makes a belonging, it directs to a community, and if you are a policymaker, you need to call a community something when you're making a policy, and it cannot be the same for other enterprises. So probably, for time being, let's live with GCC, but then, I understand the underlying meaning, and this has been given, told to me by a lot of leaders whom I speak to. So, moving to the next question, and Lowe's India, Lowe's otherwise, we know as a home improvement retailer, a massive one, of course. If you're in the US, it's unmissable. But you often describe it as a technology company, which happens to be, in retail. What's that story? Tell us.
See, I'll say it a little differently. So definitely we are doing a lot of work on technology. But at the end of the day, we are a retailer who is using technology to create the differentiation. Okay. So in the past, if you look at it, technology was more of an enabling function. What we believe in Lowe's is that technology is not an enabling function, it is a differentiating function. So we are trying to create the capabilities, the product, the solutions, which can leapfrog in the marketplace and ensure that we are serving our customers in whatever way they want it, whether it is personalization, whether it is ability to search, finding the right value, right prices, right promotions, the loyalty, making sure that they have all the options to choose when it comes to fulfillment, making sure that we are doing the right thing with respect to the cost of serving a customer in terms of fulfillment, our demand forecasting, all those things. We feel that the technology is going to create a significant differentiation in the retail business, but technology, not just the sake of technology. So every single product when we are trying to build, we are trying to think about what problem we are trying to solve. What is that where it can give us a remarkable improvement in terms of customer service or in terms of associates who are helping the customers. So we want to ensure that we have approximately 300,000 store associates who is helping the customer. How can we make each and every associate as a super associate or super
empower
human.
them.
Empower them. They have the access to the technology. They have access to the information. They're able to do their job really well, and they come across to our customers as very helpful and knowledgeable associate. See, home improvement industry, if you look at it, it's little specialized, little complex. We want to make sure that when our associates start serving to the customer, they feel very confident They are with the knowledge, with all the information, they are able to interact and help customers a lot.
No, of course, and they need to know everything about a customer's particular problem, because it's home after all. I mean,
Yes.
you need a very trusted person to give you advice for
Absolutely.
all this.
See,
Yeah.
home is probably the most expensive
Yes,
thing you
of
have in your
course.
with you.
In your lifetime. Yeah, so that needs to be dealt with very delicately
Yes.
also, and of course that makes the job of your associates all the more sensitive and important as well. Yeah. So you're talking about technology, that how you are using technology to empower your associates. And when we talk about technology now, we cannot not talk about AI,
Yes.
right? And people, retail is one of the industries where AI has reshaped a lot of things. So tell us about it. What do you think about AI in retail, and if there are some misconceptions about AI in this
See,
aspect?
AI overall, I think there is two school of thoughts.
Mm.
One school of thought is saying that AI is going to change everything.
Correct.
The other school of thought sometimes says that it's just a passing wave, it's a fad, it'll die down. And I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
AI is probably going to change a lot of things, but not everything.
Mm.
It's definitely not a passing fad or passing wave. In retail, if I look at it, even before AI, technology was influencing retail quite a bit, whether it is supply chain, whether it is your buying decisions, selling decisions. So the way Lowe started thinking about is in three segments: how we sell, how we shop, and how we work. So when it comes to how we shop, the way we are looking at it is that how is the customer is going to buy products on our .com site. So we have provided them something called Milo, where you can go and ask questions respect to product, respect to, for example, how do I fix my leaky faucet? How do I build my patio? I have this particular item. Can you give me the batteries for this particular tool?
Correct.
How do I, let's say I have a family of 4, I'm looking for a 3-star energy efficient appliance, whether it is for air conditioning or refrigeration. Now these questions, Milo can answer you very well, can help you step-by-step process in terms of what you can do. Today, we receive more than 1 million inquiries every month on Milo. Now, coming to the store associates, as I said, that a store associate has to be superhuman and has to have all the knowledge to help customers. We have provided them Milo Companion, where they can ask questions related to the product, compare multiple products. They can also ask questions with respect to inventory, when are they expected, where they are in the store, which store they are in. All those kind of questions they can answer and help our customer. Now, the third thing which comes is how we work. Now, in my opinion, and what we have seen in the last couple of years is that every single person's how they work is changing, how they are using the AI in their day-to-day life. Even if you look at outside the work also, everything is changing. Like you start now with ChatGPT. Even if you are traveling to a country, the first thing you do is create a 5-day itinerary for me.
Correct.
All those things starts with AI, no longer searching on multiple sites and all those kind of things. So I think what we are trying to do is we are trying to create agents for the mundane task, and so that the humans can spend their energy and creativity on higher value tasks.
Of course, no good example that even travel itineraries are going to AI first. I do that as well, by the way. But of course, human in the loop, which I'm sure is the case for Milo's also. It's a very interesting. Tell us how personalized can it get? I mean, would they like a family of 4 for a strata would be, higher strata would be, requirement would be different. For a lower strata, it would be different. So does it kind of
you
do
can
that?
see multiple things happens. If you are logged in guest, then it is connected to your this thing. So it's giving you
all your information is
based
there,
on your this thing. But if you're not logged in, you can definitely prompt it, saying that, hey, I'm looking for in the range between $1,000 to $1,500. I have a house of so many square feet. So you can constrain or provide the right prompts to give you the answers which is of your likings.
Of course. All right. Yeah, and when you hear all these things, I mean, technology has, I mean, it's been evolving faster than even we can think. So you as a tech leader, Ankur, what changes do you believe will have the greatest impact on, how you build, deliver, scale digital products in years to come? I mean, of course, we have seen a sea change already, but then what next?
See, I think this time it's going to be slightly different than the previous technology innovations we had. So, like a steam engine, it just changed how the industry works. Then electricity again changed quite a bit of things. When internet came, it just created, or people are talking, world is flat. The knowledge is available to everybody. Then when the hyperscalers, so the cloud computing came in, it just provided so much of power in terms of computing power. I think these were all, if I look at it, were automating a rule-based or certain type of things which is already been defined by a human doing that. I think this time we are creating a buddy for everybody. So it's kind of a democratization of intelligence. Now the Gen AI and LLMs are doing reasoning and trying to figure out how an individual human can become a lot more creative, how an individual human can reasoning in themselves. And it's like every single time I remember that 3-4 years back, if I have some ideas, I'm going to be bringing 4 or 5 people and bounce it off the ideas and those kind of things. Now I'm probably doing it only with 1 or 2, and rest of the things are happening with AI.
Correct.
Like you keep on bouncing that, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? What do you think about? And also, what I feel is in this entire thing, 2 or 3 things are going to be very critical for any enterprise as well as any individual also. One is ability to learn, because the way technology is changing, you knowing C++ or Java or this thing, it doesn't matter because it's going to change every 3 months. So ability to learn, unlearn. Second is creativity. How creative you are with your new business ideas, new ways of thinking. So ability to learn, unlearn with creativity. And the third thing, which is going to be very important, is the soft skills. So how good you are bringing the teams together, how much empathy you have, the communication skills. Those are going to be the things are going to become a lot more important for enterprises, for individuals, for leaders.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and it's not only for people who are into tech. It's also for people who are like non-tech people like me. I mean, to learn what's happening and how I can ease my everyday job so that I can do more. That has become very important nowadays. So, Ankur, you recently, and while we're talking about AI, and you recently described AI as a foundational shift rather than just another technology wave, which you have just alluded to again. And you have told about that this is different. I mean, this time it is different. But what makes this different, from, cloud, mobile, and digital transformation, especially keeping in mind that this is having a massive impact on the humankind altogether?
Like, see, as I said earlier, that earlier whatever was, in my opinion, they were path breaking at that point in time. But if you look at it, what they earlier technologies like cloud and digital and internet has done, and what AI is doing, I think AI is having far more bigger impact than earlier technologies had. Because now, earlier it was about information and knowledge. This time it is all about intelligence. So even if when you democratize the intelligence, and when you are having a far-reaching impact in terms of ability to handle trillions of parameters, billions of parameters, and then able to synthesize all that information, is going to make huge impact.
So, while we talk about all these things, I mean, a few years back, probably these are not things we were even imagined. Yes. So things are changing dramatically with AI. And you alluded also, we talked about that there are 2 schools of thought. That one is where everything will be taken over. One is that it will just change the way we work. So what you're telling to your teams about their careers, their and the skills that you think matter to them?
See, the first and foremost thing I've been telling my team is be open about change. Because now every 3 months, every 6 months, something is going to change. So be open about the change. Don't be resistant to change. And continuous learning is going to be the mantra for rest of everybody's life. See, what I keep telling my team is, if you're not learning every day, you are actually going to fall behind. So every single day you have to make it a point that you're learning something new, because that's going to be the thing. Second, I'm saying that creativity, imagination is going to be paramount for everybody's success, whether it is enterprise or individual. It's not about this is how we have done things, this is how we are going to do the things and make small changes to or rewrite the processes. Can you entirely reimagining how the business can be done? Now, see, think about it. Like few years back, 5 years back, maybe 10 years back, we never thought that 10 minutes quick commerce is going to be thing. You can get an iPhone in 10 minutes or you can get a bottle of Coke in 10 minutes. But it has come. Somebody sitting in some place thought about those ideas. And that's going to be extremely, extremely important. And the third thing is the domain understanding, the business understanding. See, every business, if you look at it, home improvement retail is very different from mass merchandising.
Correct.
When I was joining in, I felt that I know retail quite a bit. But after joining in Lowe's, I realized that there are so many things I had to learn in the business to be able to be successful. So domain, creativity, imagination, and learnability. These four things are going to be extremely, extremely critical for anybody's success.
Right. So how has AI personally changed the way you work, Ankur?
No, I was talking to my wife yesterday, and we were talking about that. Now everything we do starts from ChatGPT. Whether it is I'm starting my day, whether it is about preparing for a customer meeting, whether it is about just gathering the knowledge and learning about it. So, like when I was talking to my son, it used to be that he'll explain me all the soccer rules and all those things. Now, when we are having the conversation, I quickly look at.
We're all smarter that way now.
Yeah. So getting so that way, and then see. We started this business, Lowe's Commerce Solutions, where we are commercializing the technology what we have built for Lowe's. Now, for that, we end up meeting with the customers. Earlier, you would spend like hours and hours to just get the understanding of what their strategic priorities is, how their balance sheet is looking, what kind of structure they have. Now it comes in very handy. Like within 15 minutes, you have entire information with whoever customer you are talking, which industry they are in, how the industry doing, how is their balance sheet looking, what structure they have, what are their priorities, what they have spoken in their investors calls, in their earning calls. Now, those are the things just makes you a much, much better informed leader when you are getting into those discussions. So that's how I'm using it. I'm loving it.
No, of course. But do you somehow feel that, there is something which is called your brain, which somehow at some places with AI, you need to probably use it and you're still, because you become dependent also. Do you think that's something that worries you?
I think if I look at it, earlier you were doing the same work, but going into the 7 different places, reading 8 different documents. As long as you are ability to have asking the right questions, ability to go into the business, ability to understand the domain, I think it's going to be fine. It's just helping you collect
but the analytical part is somehow missing.
Analytical part, I think the human needs to do that.
Yeah.
Because ChatGPT or any of these GPT is probably going to give the same information to everybody. Like if you start asking the question that how do I build my business, it's going to give the same answer to almost same answer to everybody. But that's where your creativity, your imagination comes into the play, where you say, hey, I understand all the information, but this is how I'm going to do things differently, which is going to make me a much better business leader or a business as opposed to the rest of the people.
Is that conveyed to the teams also and facilitated that way?
Absolutely.
What's the response? How's the response?
See, the response is always going to be like in the beginning, they're just thinking about it. What does it really mean? But over a period of time, what we have seen is people are coming with fascinating ideas that this is what we can do. This is how we can do things differently. We can not changing or re-engineering the process. They are doing reimagination of the process. They're thinking about these could be the new business idea. This is how we can serve our customers better and our associates better.
Okay, all right. Ankur, final question. So, you recently, alluded that trust isn't created by, reporting structures, but by solving problems before they're assigned. And that's a very interesting statement, especially where in India we have, hierarchical, mindsets still, probably to a large extent. So, how can leaders today practically build that level of trust with headquarters as well, because that's what is needed.
See, I think um, if you're sitting in India, you're probably 8,000, 10,000 miles away from your
Right.
headquarters. First thing is, how much is your understanding about the business? Because just coming into the system and then going and saying to the headquarters, hey, I want to do more work. You don't get the work just by asking for the work.
Yeah. You need to show, demonstrate.
First, you have to show them that you understand the business. Second, you have to show that you have the ability to do that. And then take some things which could be a path breaking, could create exponential impact, and prove it out that you can do that, and then scale it out. So just to give you an example, we started on this journey of self-checkout around maybe 6 years back. And at that point in time, stores were having that as a problem statement, that this self-checkout, what they have right now is not that efficient, it's not working fine. But in the prioritization space, it didn't get the space, and nobody was working on it. So we said, okay, how about putting together a very small team and let's start doing it. We started doing it, we proved the point saying that, hey, it's working. And then we scaled it to a couple of stores. Then we went to 5 stores, 10 stores. I think that creates the impact, and that creates the trust that you have the ability to understand the business, or you understand the business and you have the ability to deliver on that expectation. But here is the thing. Once you deliver it, you cannot say that, hey, I delivered 6 years back self-checkout, so I'm good.
Correct.
Every single day, you have to keep delivering it. A different kind of capabilities, different kind of solutions, different kind of thought process. Asking for work is not going to get you the work. Proving it yourself every single day is going to get you more and more important work.
Of course, that's the difference between being proactive and reactive. And I guess that's what the ecosystem, which is now flourishing so well here in India and employing so many people, creating so much of wealth and also business ideas for enterprises worldwide. I think that's what is required for the next phase of growth. Thank you so much, Ankur, for joining us. It was a pleasure speaking to you and understanding how Lowe's India is contributing to the overall enterprise business of Lowe's worldwide. Thank you for joining.
No, thank you so much again for having me over here.
Thank you, Ankur.
Thank you.